This Week 9 college football edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Right now, to honor college football, MyBookie is offering up to $1,000 in free bets using the promo code SGP. That's right, $1,000 in bonus bets on your first deposit when you use the promo code SGP. Play, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. We're also brought to you by Amazon. Log on to sportsgamblingpodcast.com and click the Amazon banner. Bookmark that link and use it every time you shop to score sweet savings and support the podcast. Finally, we're also brought to you by me, Sean Green. See me do a headlining set of stand-up comedy just about sports Friday night in Phoenixville, PA at the Sound Bank. Tickets are $10 at the door and the show starts at 8 p.m.
You're listening to the Sports Gambling Podcast, exclusively on SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration. Over.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's up, Kramer dog?
Dude, lots to talk about. The internet is in upheaval over the questionable suspension by us on my dog. I'm also feeling very free, Sean. We are not doing video for this episode, so I am completely nude, sitting across from my man. Bring him onto the show.
The man, the myth, the legend, half man, half machine, all college sports. He is Colby Dant, the Dantabase. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? I got Kramer. We're recording from my crib in Venice Beach, essentially, Santa Monica, Venice. I'm going to get Kramer. He's going to smoke some weed, and we're going to go to a drum circle after this. It's going to be great.
Another benefit of not being on video, Sean. You can't see what I'm doing.
I like how you said we're going to smoke weed, like Ryan already hasn't smoked a ton of weed. Yeah, he's going to be out there with one of the giant snakes walking up and down the boardwalk.
He's going to get a photo with Tree Man.
Well,
you know?
to be clear, I do have a day job. I take it very seriously, and I would never walk into work under the influence of anything.
Okay.
Just so that's clear.
That is clear, Ryan. Crystal clear. And of course, Ryan was talking about on the Daily Fantasy podcast we recorded last night, doing it remotely because I'm out on the East Coast till the end of the week. The dog knocked over the camera, and I tweeted out the clip on at Gambling Podcast and on Instagram, Sports Gambling Podcast. But it's great because you see Ryan like eyeing the dog and like trying to get the dog to go away with his eyes right before the dog knocks over the tripod.
To pull back the curtain all the way, what actually happened is we of course were recording early. The kids came home from school, and my little one blasted through the garage door like Kramer and Seinfeld. It was just like, "Hey, I'm home." Dog charges out. I'm watching the video right now on at Gambling Podcast over on Twitter. Dog charges out, and I see it happen before it happened. The dog just does the circle and just like any dog, zero fucks to give about anything in its way, and just plows through the tripod. Just like I said, a lot of people having questions about the suspension. People know that I'm a Michael Vick fan. Perhaps I'm coming down a little too hard on the dog.
I mean, you got a small dog too. That's some power it took. You know what I mean?
Take down a whole little wiener dog. Taking down a whole.
I think I respect it. That's kind of like a Rudy Rudinger.
Took down a whole media empire.
Yeah.
Well, and Ryan, I think not to cue the X-Files music conspiracy theory here, but I think this was planned all along by the dog in retaliation for the hot dog costume you're making your dog wear.
For the record,
that looked like a controlled demolition on the camera. That's all I'm saying.
What happened to building number? So yeah, no, I mean like the
jet fuel doesn't melt tripods. That's all I'm saying.
It definitely feels like a bit of torture what we're doing to the dog this Halloween. Fortunately, not my decision. So moving on.
Moving on, indeed. Let's do it. Let's talk. We're going to recap week 8, give out our week 9 picks. But before we do, time to give a shout out to the presenting sponsor of the podcast, MyBookie.ag. They got it all the college football action you want to get in on. They got that. They got player props. You can do the little customize your own props. Think someone's going to go off for 3-4 touchdowns. You can throw that in the old custom prop maker and have at it. We've been diving more and more into the college DFS as well. You go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Monique, the Parlay Queen, she's been posting a weekly college DFS post. So hashtag DGensHome. And again, all this stuff, all the action, the podcast, the picks, the blogs, the posts, couldn't have happened without our presenting sponsor, MyBookie.ag. Use that promo code SGP for 100% deposit bonus. Play, win, and get paid over at MyBookie.ag. Yeah, let's take a look at the old record book here. Interesting week. Kramer and I both 6-5-1 on the picks. Colby, disappointing 2-9-1. However, hit his lock. Kramer hit his lock. We had a solid whiff on the bonus locks and the dogs. However, we all, once again, hit our 3-team teas. And this is an insane... I'm 11 out of the past 12 3-team teases that we've given out on the podcast we've hit, which is an insane streak. Myself and Colby hitting at 75%, Kramer at 50% for the teases. Colby and Ryan still 75% on their bonus locks. Colby 67% on his regular locks. Those are kind of the highlights. Kind of a weird year as far as I feel like me personally, I've done my worst picking college football, but I've done the most watching college football.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is a really crazy year, but I still want to review. I want a challenge flag on that Penn State Michigan game.
Oh, here we go.
That 4th and 1. I never saw Shea Patterson get in the end zone, but yet that blew our cover.
Oh yeah, that was I was at my brother's wedding and I saw they were up 14. I was checking the score. I'm like, all right, nice. That's a solid. Just check that in the W column. Didn't expect Harbaugh to come crashing through the back door there.
I had 3 games where I had double-digit leads, all lose, and then obviously the Toledo one. I didn't know that the best quarterback in the MAC wasn't going to play. So I mean, I'm just going to make some excuses here.
Sounds a lot like excuses, which we don't participate in that at all, Colby.
Oh,
here's what I would say.
I thought we did.
Feeling pretty smart about taking that Penn State -7 when it let's just put it this way. Had a big meal Friday night, woke up in the middle of the night to take a shit, popped open my phone, decided to see what the lines were. I'm like, ooh, Penn State -7, -120, snag. That felt a little raw.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff even the Washington game felt.
Dude, they're up by 14. I missed that game because I was going into the Appalachian State game. I was in Boone, met up with a fan of ours, so that was great. But the Fuck My Life tour continues because I think Virginia Tech might win the Coastal.
Oh my goodness! Stop it.
Are you really rooting against Virginia Tech?
Oh, of course I'm not. But so let me take you quick summary of my Saturday. It's youth soccer all day. I record the Virginia Tech game. I'm trying to do that thing where I mute all the notifications that could possibly spoil it. Cause I'm like, this might be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Of course I get it into my car and someone who I wouldn't expect to text me about sports texts me like, oh my God, 4 overtime or 3 overtimes. Yeah. So I immediately pop it onto my phone on the Hulu app, which, you should check it out if you're into football. Hulu has live sports. And I proceed to watch the rest of this game where who the fuck knew once you get to 5 overtimes, it's just 2-point conversions.
That rule is implemented. This is its first year.
New this year. Yeah. They end up, so when you got 3.5 in your pocket, no way I can fuck this up.
Yeah.
No way Andrew Luck can come along and cover 8 points against USC somehow as a 7.5 point favorite and triple over. And so I watched the end of the game. They win the game. And the rest of Georgia Tech beats Miami. UVA looked pretty good, destroyed Duke as we predicted on the Sports Gambling Podcast. Listen, the Fuck My Life tour is very strong, which tells me I'm sticking to my prediction. UVA is going to win the ACC this year.
They might give Fuente an extension after if he goes 9-3.
This is what worries me, right? The culture's not fixed, but they're playing well. They're playing better.
They're getting wins.
North Carolina's a shitty team, though. I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is all building to where they just don't blow the 15-game winning streak against UVA, please. Don't fuck that
Oh man,
up.
that's where it's gonna come.
The Fuck My Life tour. You know Kyler Murray. Does this thing against the Giants.
Oh, we're talking about the Sean. What last thing, and then we're gonna move on to games.
Sure.
I almost cracked the Kyler Murray, the Daniel Jones jersey on the pregame Periscope, of course, co-hosted by the Capper Bear, who was wearing the Baby Effin' Whale t-shirt. I almost brought out the Daniel Jones jersey thinking maybe this is time. Maybe this is the moment. And I was like, I'm not ready for it yet. Thank God I didn't, because that thing's about to go in the fucking trash.
Maybe a Chandler Jones jersey.
No, I'm just kidding, Sean. It's not going in the trash, but it's definitely going back on the hanger. I'm not enjoying what I'm seeing right now, and most importantly, I'm a little concerned about Pat Shurmur telling me he didn't see anything wrong with his Daniel Jones's play. Now, granted, the defense didn't exactly help, but a lot to improve on. There's always next week. Coach speak. Let's talk about college football.
All right. Are you hearing this? They're going to be testing an alarm system in my hotel. So, if
here I thought you were doing more online poker.
I was like, wow, the chick's voice changed to a plumber. That's interesting.
No, man, of course. No, poker's a game of skill. I have no need for that. I'm all about blackjack, baby.
Yeah, gut handicappers don't like skill.
No. Hashtag DGens only. All right, let's crack one open for Colby's 6-pack. First game we got.
This is the week, by the way, guys.
Well, yeah, hold on, Sean. I'm actually going to hit the button. I have no idea. It's funny. I stare at this thing all day and I still have no idea where stuff is. There you go. Colby's 6-pack.
See, it's kind of hard to ride the sound effects. I know. No, get a ton of appreciation, but it's a tough job.
Yeah, that and the reads, Sean. A+.
Thank you, sir. Iowa squaring off against Northwestern in beautiful Evanston, Illinois. 9 a.m. kick. Iowa, the Hawk, -10.5 road favorite, -420 on the money line. Northwestern +320 dog. Colby, what are you doing here?
It's going to be a slugfest, and I'm all over Northwestern getting 10.5. Look, Northwestern just coming off an ass whooping against Ohio State, but they got an extra day of rest. And I think, Pat Fitzgerald gets up for games like this. You know what I mean? He a double-digit dog. Now, against Ohio State, sure, you just can't match them on any level. But on Iowa, you can, because offensively, they struggle. And Northwestern's defense, much like they did with Wisconsin, kept them in the game. So give me the 10.5 points. Sprinkle some on the money line. Throw a little bit on the money line there.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's a team I'm more off of in terms of understanding what the fuck they're going to do week to week than this Iowa team.
Yeah.
I mean, first it was Michigan, then it was. I'm not getting it right.
Didn't cover last week against Purdue.
I like Iowa in situations where they're that scrappy home team getting some points. I certainly don't like them as a 10.5 point road favorite. Now, what makes me nervous here is that Colby, Joe Q public Dant, is all over a dog here. But I hopped over to Sports Insights and I just wanted to validate 60-40 is the split. Northwestern is getting less of the money. Iowa's clearly. Here's my concern with this. Iowa's clearly the better team. They're clearly the better team. And does the Ohio State result for Northwestern create the quote unquote dream crushing situation, or is just Northwestern so bad where it doesn't matter and they're going to try to show up where they can?
They're going to show up. They're going to show up here. And look, I was in the mountains this past week. I was in a cabin, didn't get internet service. I was hanging out with a bunch of dogs. This is the week of the dog. All right. Just like the year of the dog, year of the rat. This is the week of the dog.
I'll tell you a story about the year. I was born in the year of the dog, 1982. So I know a little bit about a dog. I'm just saying it concerns me that you like the dog as well.
I'm going 6-0 this week.
Yeah, this feels like the Northwestern game against Nebraska or Northwestern Stanford, where they're not going to win the game, but it does feel like they hang around. I mean, they only lost by 9 in Wisconsin. I mean, that's before we realized Wisconsin was a bit of a fraud, but they kind of hold on against, especially in conference. They just don't strike me as a team that's going to get blown out at home in a conference game. they could blow the cover late, but I like them to make it a game. So yeah, give me Northwestern plus 10.5.
Other than the week 7 days ago when they got blown out at home in a conference game. I love your point.
But Ohio State, man, is on another level.
Well,
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't consider Ohio State their conference. The Ohio State's like professional football. They're doing something else.
I should point out to my clients though, like at this point, I don't know how to pick Iowa. Like if you went to BetSperts right now, I'm probably 0 for picking Iowa games, but I'm going to take the dog here.
Take the dog. Mississippi State heads down to College Station, Texas for a 9 a.m. kickoff against Texas A&M. A&M laying 10.5, minus 410 on the money line, plus 310 the other way for Mississippi State. What are you doing here, Colby?
Well, last week, if you follow the college experience, I locked up A&M minus 6.5 at Ole Miss, and they came through for me. So I'm sticking. They're coming back home. Now I'm not completely impressed with this A&M team, but I'm even less impressed with this Mississippi State team. They benched Tommy Stevens. They're starting a freshman quarterback on the road. College Station. Give me the Aggies minus 10.5 to beat Mississippi State all day.
I like Mississippi State last week. I thought LSU might be looking ahead. I thought Mississippi State disappointed their fans, and as Bulldogs, as men of the SEC, they are not going to go on the road and lose to fucking a guy named Jimbo. I mean, we joke about Eddie O being some kind of hillbilly, but what does it mean when your name's Jimbo and you're cool with that? You don't change it to Jim.
Yeah. What about Jumbo? Like Jumbo Elliott? That's even cooler. You know what I mean?
That's okay because you're a big fucking guy.
Yeah,
it makes sense. But if you're like, you know what? I'm not going to shorten this to Jim for the corporate world.
I'm Jimbo.
I'm going to stay Jimbo. The fuck does that say about your intelligence? No offense to anyone named Jimbo, but I'm probably smarter than you.
Jimbo listener, Ryan.
Do we?
Maybe we send him some free gear.
Happy to take.
If you're a Jimbo, send in your license where it says Jimbo, and we'll give you a free shirt.
And also, I would openly challenge you to any sort of contest of intellect because certainly I'm not dumber. Right. I'm not dumber than a Jimbo. And for all these reasons, I'm back on the Mississippi State train. I feel like the first two games, you're just trolling me. I think I've been 0 for picking Mississippi State and Iowa games this year. Give me Mississippi State plus the points. A lot of points. And this is one of those games where although 70... Oh, I'm sorry. I read this backwards. 70% of the 70% of the money is on Mississippi State and only 40% of the tickets. So what does that tell you? Public is all over Texas A&M here.
Well, Joe Q Public, the squares, they can have it. I'm with the sharps. I'm a sharp guy. Here's the thing about Texas A&M. They're not horrible, but they're not great at covering spreads in the SEC. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 in the SEC. And Mississippi State actually seems to show up against Texas A&M historically, especially when it comes to covering spreads. 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games against Texas A&M. That nugget courtesy of OddsShark, good friend of the program. Yeah, give me Mississippi State here. A&M, where are they getting off laying 11? I know they're at home, but I just don't think Mississippi State's that bad that they're going to not be in this game. And also Colby started it off by saying this is this is going to be all about the dogs, and then he takes a 10.5 point favorite.
And there's dogs coming. There's barks coming. All right, I got Major Mud here. Just hang on.
Colby, did you wait? Sorry, did you you had A&M minus 10.5, right?
Yeah, I do have A&M minus 10.5. So look, okay. it's a dog. Oh, what's up,
Sean? I apologize. I saw you not filling out the sheet, so I had to put on my 4th hat.
No, I was filling the sheet out, the Google sheet where we count our picks. I had it correct, and then you kind of fucked with it, right?
We'll have to go to the videotape.
All right, we'll go to replay. Auburn squares off against LSU in beautiful Death Valley, Louisiana. Baton Rouge. We Tigers laying 10.5 minus 400. Auburn plus 310 going the other way. Colby, what do we do here?
I'm on LSU, man. I think the play here, look, I know this historically is a close game, but Auburn can't throw the ball. That's a huge problem. The LSU is going to. This LSU team also.
Wait, I'm sorry. Auburn, what?
They can't throw the ball.
They haven't been able to throw the ball since Cam Newton. Well, and even then they couldn't throw the ball.
This year it's even worse. Jared Stidham was a lot better than Bo Nix right now. So I'm going to ride. And this LSU offense I've never in my life seen an LSU offense so good. So Joe Burrow is going to handle the Auburn Tigers in Baton Rouge, just like they did with Florida. They covered that 13. I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns against Auburn.
Again, disrespectful number. This LSU team's just too good.
Yeah,
they're just too good. And everything you said, I think this LSU defense is going to be ready to eat. I do wonder. I'm a little confused because we saw when they were playing the Gators, they had some gator on the grill. I don't think they're going. Is it a different kind of tiger? It's like you can't defame the tiger if the tiger is also your mascot. I would imagine. I'm kind of visualizing that the Auburn tiger in Alabama is just kind of a slower, like a southern tiger, and the tiger in LSU in Louisiana is more of the water boy meets a tiger. Basically, that's where I'm going with this. LSU's winning a national championship this year. At this point, I might be buying some stock. We're all Tigers.
Chicken on the stick for everybody.
We are all Tigers. Definitely, we should do some chicken on a stick. lay the points. Lay this up to 2 touchdowns, Colby. Lay it up to 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm all over LSU as well. Joe Burrow, I think he's. We mentioned it a couple weeks ago. I think he's going to be a better NFL prospect than Tua. I know everyone's tanking for Tua, but I kind of like, Joe Burrow. He has to throw in tighter windows. I think he's going to actually be a better prospect at the next level. They've really been taking care of teams at home. You look at that Florida game, even though it was close in the first half, they pulled away in the second half. I could see a similar situation going up against Auburn. Right now, Joe Burrow, he's down to plus 115 over at MyBookie to win the Heisman Trophy. And Ryan, you said you wanted to get a little taste of LSU to win the national championship. Guess what that price is at?
I mean, I would imagine it's got to be fairly high, even though they're low, but just because everyone thinks it's Clemson or Alabama. So I'll wager a 12-1 guess.
No, they are all the way down to plus 400
to
win the national championship. Crazy.
Wishful thinking on my part. I might still take that because this definitely looks like a team that's gonna take care of that game because they got the bye week coming up too. Yep. That's the other thing. So
nice late bye week. Yeah, Alabama's 280, Clemson 330, Georgia 1500, Ohio State
Georgia
350.
What's Ohio State?
Ohio State's 350.
Yeah, see, if I was betting on anyone right now in terms of the 2 best teams in the country, it's LSU and Ohio State.
You must follow the database top 25.
Clemson is comically not even. I don't think Clemson is going to win a game in the playoff if they make it.
Yeah.
I would say this: if you're looking for the dark horse long shot, Penn State at plus 2,500.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You just can't help yourself.
What about those Oklahoma Sooners?
No.
Okay.
That's all. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Oklahoma, they're only plus 450 at that price. I'd rather go LSU. I think.
I mean, there's a very real possibility that Oklahoma is playing Ohio State or LSU in that first game, and both of those teams are favored by at least a touchdown.
Could be a dangerous game, though. I mean, I think LSU and Ohio State look better than every team in the country.
I just think I know Jalen Hurts isn't that good, and I watch every week he's 6 touchdowns.
He's looking pretty damn good.
He's not that good. It's all fake. It's all smoke.
He'll be the first pick in the draft. He'll beat Daniel Jones next year. I get it.
Big 12 is trash.
Speaking of not that good, this game, the next one in the 6-pack.
Now
South Florida squaring off against the East Carolina Pirates in Greenville, North Carolina. 12:45 West Coast kick. South Florida -2. Road favorite -135 on the money line. ECU plus 115 home dog. Colby, are you riding with your alma mater here?
I mean, you got to, right? I mean, look at this. They did a great performance down in Orlando against UCF. They didn't win the game, but they covered by a lot. And South Florida's having a horrible year. Charlie Strong got to be a little bit on the hot seat. And Blake Barnett, the starting quarterback's out for the year. Now you're going to hit the road, come into Greenville. Look, and I don't care. I know ECU's been rebuilding, but Greenville is still a loud environment. And check this out. I am holding a ticket for ECU over 3.5 wins. So ECU wins this. I cash my ticket.
Woo.
Boom. Get
Really?
this. Yeah.
That's where you're going. Look, I mean, I don't have much to add here. I was a little annoyed that this game made it to our. I definitely don't like Charlie Strong and his boys from South Florida as a favorite on the road here. And listen, when I was in college, there were a couple schools that were known for having some loose ladies: East Carolina and James Madison. So I like what I'm seeing here. I like the short dog. I think there'll be some. Any chance South Florida is getting there the night before? Of course they are.
Of course.
What does that mean?
They're going to go down to G Vegas and party, you know?
Dudes from Florida coming up, and there's some loose whoars walking around. Give me East Carolina. They're all going to be drained, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And why not? It's Colby's 6-pack. He can't be trash all the time. Well, I'm actually going to bet on him to regress. I think we've agreed on every pick.
Sometimes you got to go to Old Faithful, and Old Faithful is that pirate nation. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what Old Faithful is. Fading Colby in the 6-pack. Give me USF -2. Sorry, Colby. Your 6-pack is not your source of heat. I just think South Florida, more talent, better team. ECU, they're scrap. I think they're better when they're a giant underdog and can kind of play that scrappy backdoor cover. I think this is going to be too much of an actual game for them to handle. So give me South Florida laying the 2.
Colby, is there water where ECU plays at all? Anywhere to put a boat?
I mean, there's a river. I don't
because
know about a big
South
boat.
Florida and Charlie Strong, they are going to be on that boat with some white bitches getting work done.
Hey, how about that? How about that fan, by the way, that accused us of taking money to pick Temple?
Oh, that was really hilarious. What was? Oh yeah, they said we got a kickback for picking Temple.
From who? Bill Cosby? Right?
Yeah. Where's the? There was so much. There was so much action going the other way that the bookmakers contacted us secretly and said, "Guys, we know everyone lives and dies by your picks, and they do exactly what you say all the time. If all 3 of you pick, it's gonna bring in a ton of money." I'm taking it as a compliment that this guy thinks that our influence is so strong that we're going to completely shift the betting market by 3 of us picking a Temple football game.
I've been checking my mailbox every day, thinking that someone's going to send me a random check for picking Temple.
Sean, you need to stand down right now with that negative energy. All right, I need you to have some of that
long cocks
energy and fucking rep some shit. Of course we can move fucking markets. Are you kidding me? Sports gambling podcast.
Come on, don't tell people that because then they'll know our secret of getting kickbacks from the sports books for picking
I'll tell you this.
wrong.
Sean, although my Monday night football props column was not great, there were a couple lines that I don't want to take credit here, but the line moved like close to 50 cents between when my article dropped and when the game kicked off.
Yeah,
Can't be a coincidence.
I think we might be #market movers, Sean.
I saw my NFL lock hit with the Jaguars getting it done with my guy Gardner Minshew, ECU, Washington State representing.
Okay,
Minshew mania.
We got to move
baby.
on. Colby's getting excited.
Colby's getting excited. Memphis laying 10.5 in Tulsa. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 4:00 kick. Memphis -390 on the money line. Tulsa +300 coming the other way. Colby, are we Tigers or are we Green Wave? What are we doing here?
It's not the Green Wave. It is the Golden Hurricane, which I'm sure you know all about. As you're in North Carolina. Why is that alarm really going off, huh? Why is that alarm really going off in that hotel room of yours? You're at a little orgy. You're getting a golden shower in that bathroom.
I looked at Tulane, not Tulsa. Same difference.
All right, look, the Golden Hurricane. The past 2 years, this coach Philip Montgomery's probably going to get fired. He's a good coach he's a great coach at covering. They almost beat Texas. They cover against Michigan State on the road. They cover basically every time except when they play a triple option team. Memphis is not a triple option team. I'm taking the Golden Hurricane to get this done. Give me the 10.5 in the Golden Hurricane.
Well, Colby, if you look up Golden
Ryan, can you isolate Colby saying, "Give me the Golden Hurricane"?
we will, because as Colby was talking, all I heard was Golden Hurricane. So I decided, let's see what Urban Dictionary has to say about this. There's a couple definitions, but the one I like the most is when a woman has her face in front of a fan that is on high speed and someone pisses into the back of said fan. She was so hot after banging away for hours that she was begging for a golden hurricane. That's the kind of stuff you might find in East Carolina for our South Florida boys. I took all the time doing that. Who has the time to actually handicap the game? What I'll do though is I'll be happy to grab a dog here. Happy to play the contrarian side. 80% of the tickets and the money coming in on Memphis. Let's fade Memphis here. Give me the points. Is that stupid, Colby?
No, we like this here. They got a good offense. Zach Smith's a good quarterback. I like what Tulsa can score points, so I like them too. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line, a little upset.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sprinkle on the money line. I'm fading you guys here. Memphis is gonna smoke them. Just a much better team. I'm not messing with Tulsa even at a home dog at plus 10.5. That's not big enough. Talk to me when you get to like 14.5. Then I'm maybe hopping on Tulsa. I'm staying away. Last of the 6-pack, Missouri heading into Lexington, Kentucky. Missouri minus 10.5. That's very interesting. 5 of these games out of the 6 are 10.5 point spreads. Kentucky at home, 10.5. They're catching plus 295 on the money line. Missouri minus 390 on the money line. Colby, what are you doing here?
I told you I'm dogging it up here, man. This is 4 out of my 6 picks are dogs. It's the week of the dog. I'm going with the Wildcats mainly because look, Kentucky lost. It was 0-0 at halftime against Georgia, but Kentucky was starting a wide receiver at quarterback the past 2 weeks. Well, guess what? Sawyer Smith, from what all reports I'm seeing, is that he's going to play this week. Sawyer Smith's the quarterback that's been out for Kentucky the past couple of weeks. This Kentucky team is better than people realize. They're coming home to Lexington after being on the road. And I get 10.5 points as a home dog. I'm all on it. Give me the Wildcats behind that wheel, to quote Dennis Hopper in Speed.
Was Missouri really looking ahead last week? Before we pick this game, we have to discuss what happened to Missouri last week.
Well, we have to discuss Patty C locking up Missouri minus 21.5 and Wisconsin minus 33. So if you would have parlayed on the other side of Patty C's picks, you'd be a millionaire probably.
He locked up two
gigantic,
and they
favorites.
both lost on outright. The money line. He's fired. We might have to have him on to have one of those discussions, those critical discussions. I understand the idea of a look ahead. I just don't. Were they really looking ahead?
They also lost to Wyoming this year.
This Missouri team is this whole SEC East, the SEC in general.
Yeah,
the SEC and the ACC are not very good this year. Sean, what do you like in this game?
Yeah, I'm going Kentucky. They're pretty good against the spread, 7-2 ATS in their last 9, and they show up at home. I just don't think this Missouri team is that good that warrants the 10.5. Kentucky, yeah, I mean 5-2 ATS this season, like. Especially at home, 10.5. Now maybe that half point is trapping you into taking them, but
sprinkle some on the money line for the dog, man.
I do like Kentucky in this spot, and I do think you're right. Was Missouri looking ahead to Kentucky? No, I just don't think they're that good, and I think that could have been like kind of a gut busting loss for them. So.
No, they're still alive though. That's the crazy thing, right?
Like that's hilarious. If they just cover, if they win their games, they're going to win the East.
Yeah, which is insane. I think they sharpen up here. I think this is the team I'll take for the bounce back spot. I'll lay the points with Missouri.
But it's also, historically, I just love home teams at night. This is I see Kentucky getting up for this game. Bunch of chicks hanging out, drinking moonshine, getting everyone fired up. They're going to chase someone around in a pickup, fire a gun at them, and head into the game, and then just kind of Kentucky stuff.
Just for the record, Colby, you're good with your 4 underdogs.
Yes,
in the 6. Oh wow,
4 underdogs, and there's more coming. There's more coming, buddy. This is the week of the dog.
This is scaring me.
Who let the dogs out? Colby Dant. And hey, if you want to get that CD, Who Let the Dogs Out from the Baha Men, you can get it over at Amazon. And if you're going to be getting it on Amazon, why don't you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com, click the Amazon banner, click through there every time you shop. You can make it easier and just bookmark it for yourself. And yeah, man, I mean, listen, all we ask, everything's free, right? Just support the sponsors. It's not that hard. Click through it, bookmark it. I mean, you know, your wife, your kids, whoever, your husband, whatever's going on, they're buying a ton of crap over at Amazon. Why not just throw us a little, you know, just throw us a little taste. We're just trying to get our beak wet here. I'm looking up the Baha Men. Yeah. Latest, you know, you can get some, the Who Let the Dogs Out. Oh, it's actually, Who Let the Dogs Out is free. It's included with your Prime membership if you have the Amazon streaming music. So, great news. So yeah. And you can get the Baha Men sticker. There's a lot of a lot of fun stuff comes up if you throw Baha Men into Amazon. So enjoy, guys. Moving on to the top 25, the Wisconsin Badgers squaring off against Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State laying 14.5, minus 600. Badgers plus 440 on the money line. Could go either way, Colby. Which way you going with the spread here?
Look, I know Wisconsin's going to focus. They got upset by Illinois on the first. That was the first time they actually played at a college campus all year. Isn't that amazing?
It was their first road game.
Yeah. So I have a thing. I fade back-to-back road. I fade teams that are on the verge of back-to-back road games. So give me Ohio State minus 14.5. I think this could be a blowout.
Why wouldn't it be a blowout?
Yeah.
What has Ohio State showed us that they're clearly in some sort of weird FU mode?
I'm thinking 42-21 Ohio State.
Wisconsin goes on the road against objectively they're a bottom 25 team in the country, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovie Smith not getting it done.
Yeah.
And they lose. I understand looking ahead, but if you want to play with Ohio State, when you look ahead, you're down 10 at halftime and then you win the game by 35 instead of 50.
Yeah. The fact that they couldn't bounce back in the second half is a huge red flag.
They're a well-coached team. They were clearly looking ahead. They will bounce back, but I'm absolutely not betting against Ohio State until absolutely necessary. And so much so that I just wanted to check the number to make sure it's still 10.5. I'm seeing some places open this as high as 14.
What do you mean? You said 10.5, 14.5. You mean?
Oh, sorry, 14.5. Yeah. Make sure it's still at 14.5 and not 14 because that makes my number better. But I think you can probably find a 14 out there. I'll lay 14.5. I'm not getting in front of this train.
Yeah, don't get cute. Just take Ohio State minus 14.5. I mean, they're in Patriots-esque fuck you mode, and I mean. Ohio State 7-0 straight up, but 6-1 ATS. I don't think you can make this spread big enough. Like Wisconsin could even come out fired up and like, hey, we're not that bad, you know, just because we lost, we're going to show them, and you know it could be tied 14-14 at half, and then you know you blink and it's 35-14. Just this Ohio State team, they're on another level, and yeah, you'd be insane to bet against them.
I'm sorry to cut in, Sean, with breaking news. I heard this earlier on a gambling podcast that someone was throwing out the idea. This was a show that discussed gambling, picking games against the spread. They had someone call in, and much like I called out last week, he not only did he pass every game that was given to him, he said if he had to make a choice, he would bet on the Ohio State money line here. That was his big advice to the listeners of this podcast. So, God damn it. Like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. Why are more people not listening to us, Sean? Hashtag market movers.
There you go. Well, Ryan, if you're like us and you want to destroy other podcasts, listen, maybe you really like our podcast, but you should at the very least hate all the other shitty podcasts. And do, you know, we're trying to destroy these other horrible podcasts. So, you know, head over to iTunes, give us a 5-star review and, you know, 5-star rating, but also write up a review. If it's funny, we'll give you some merch. You know, don't go easy on the profanity so that the communists over at Apple don't censor your free speech.
Well, and great transition because I'm going to throw one out there, Sean, because I really enjoyed it. Dedication 5 stars from Champ 11. These guys have no quit in them. Sean Stacking the Money Green continues to provide great content while dealing with the bird flu and a rabid pack of possums attacking his house day in and day out. Ryan Real Money Kramer deals with the terrible, hopeless franchise of the New York Football Giants every year and still gives out great picks. Just fade Colby D on some college picks. I'm still salty about his Maryland Penn State pick. Was this review helpful? Yes.
Well, to be fair, I think we're all on Maryland there.
I should have known better. That's ECU's been horrible the past 3 years due to Scotty Montgomery, and he's Maryland's offensive coordinator. My mistake. I will shoulder that one. Never bet on Scotty Montgomery.
All right, I'm sorry. We all took Ohio State, right?
Yes.
On the money line is our lock of the week.
I mean, but I guess if I did have 600,000 laying around, would you throw it on this game?
Yeah,
I think I might.
I think we're coming up with a bid here. Bet all of Colby's money.
Yeah, Colby, how much money do you have?
If we had to bet all of Colby's money, would we bet it on Ohio State? I think so.
Kramer's in my house. He knows it's a small little quaint apartment.
Pretty bougie. I mean, there's more art on the wall here than at my place. So classy gentlemen.
All right. What are we doing here? We got Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State laying 7 in East Lansing, Michigan. 12:30 p.m. kick. -7 is the number. -240. Michigan State +190. Home dog. Colby, what are you doing here?
Look, Penn State's had 2 huge wins back to back. Iowa and Michigan. Give me the Spartans +7 in East Lansing. They're going to get up for one of these games and give someone a game. I think Penn State might get the win, but this is going to be a close one because you have 3 tough opponents in a row. They're due to lay an egg. But I think Penn State will perhaps find a way to win this game. But I could see it being a 21-17 game.
Listen, to allow a man who wears khakis and couldn't be more fucking conservative than Jim Harbaugh to find that back door. He's not a guy that's into the back door. He's a guy who's into converting you away from the back door, right? He's probably a big Chick-fil-A fan, if you know what I mean. And he still he found that back door, almost the money line back door. I don't know where I was going with that, but something happened.
The back door always confuses
But something
you, right?
happened in that game, and Penn State. I've kind of had that.
They were up 21-0.
That red flag in my head about, is this Penn State team really that good? Here's what I know: 80% of the tickets and the money are currently on Penn State. That concerns me. Penn State is going to go on the road here, like you pointed out. They bit of a tough stretch for them, physical stretch. Now they're going to a place where it's definitely going to be a physical game. I don't love this Michigan State team. This go around it, but Penn State shouldn't be favored by a touchdown. Shouldn't be favored by a touchdown in this spot. Give me Michigan State +7.
Michigan State 2-5 ATS. They're not getting the majority of the money, even as a home dog. Man, I really like this for Penn State. When you get it down below 6 or 6.5 even, but I think once you get the full touchdown for Michigan State at 7, I think I'm going to take Michigan State here. This does feel like a stay away, although I wouldn't be scared to put Penn State in a tease. I feel pretty good about this team. Pretty confident they win, but the 7 on the road. After that Michigan game, I think that could be a tough number for them to cover. So, I'll also ride on Michigan State here.
Even in their worst years, I feel like they show up and they fuck up someone's season.
Yeah, always. I feel like
this could be that game. Do we know what the weather report is?
I don't, off the top of my head.
If it's bad weather, especially, we're gonna pound the under too.
The weather is showing, Ryan, 53 degrees. Not a lot of precipitation for Saturday in East Lansing, Michigan.
That's a nice day. Maybe it'll be some acid rain from all those manufacturing shops up there.
All right, Ryan. Save your hippie. You've already once you're out in Venice, you're all of a sudden getting into your hippie politics.
I like the blue states, just for the record, and the red ones too.
You own some real estate in Florida, right?
I'm purple, bro. Right? I'm purple. Yeah, Florida all the way to California.
Perp, baby, smoke that granddaddy perp. Notre Dame squaring off again in Michigan. Ann Arbor to be exact. This game is a pick right now. Michigan -115, Notre Dame -105. Just picking a winner here, easy enough, I think. Colby, what are you doing?
I'm riding with Harbaugh. I think they figured some things out in the second half of that Penn State game. Defense is looking strong, and I don't know how good this Notre Dame team really is when you analyze their schedule. What's their best win? Is it a 3-3 USC team? You know what I mean? Or I guess 4-3 now. I don't know that USC is that good, especially USC's on their backup quarterback. So I think Michigan's going to get this one. This one that will please the Michigan fans, so that Harbaugh will stick around for a few more years. So give me the Wolverines getting it done in the Big House.
Do you know why? I know for certain that Michigan's winning this game, even though I hate Jim Harbaugh and I'm going to pick it, and I haven't been good with him either, because they have the Hokies on deck. What better than a focused Notre Dame team coming off one loss to face my Hokies, to bend them over and just put them out the backside? Give me Michigan. I do. I think they figured something out as well. And this Notre Dame team just they've continued to feel like smoke and mirrors. Last year, it took until the playoff for us to see them get exposed. I think Michigan might be able to do that. Shea Patterson, I was way off on him being great, but I think he's kind of progressing now finally. So Michigan, give me Michigan as the pick.
I think this is a pretty even matchup, but I think all things, being equal here, I'm going to take Notre Dame coming off the bye. I think the extra week to prepare, Michigan was busy dealing with Penn State, and they got an extra week to unravel the khakis, figure out all the wrinkles in that Michigan offense, which there aren't any because they wrinkle-free khakis. So give me Notre Dame as the pick.
Also, 80-20. It's another 80-20 game. 80% of the money and the tickets on Notre Dame now.
Sometimes the public has to win. Moving over, closing things out strong in the Twitter portion of the podcast. Oklahoma squaring off against Kansas State. This question, courtesy of @DocSmolt3_2 in Manhattan, Kansas. Kansas State catching 24 points at home, plus 1,200 on the money line. Oklahoma, a staggering -335 on the money line.
I love that money line.
I love the idea that no, we got to make it a -335 to get some action. If we make it, -3,400, no one's going to bet it then. Kudos to my bookie for offering that. Colby, what are you doing here?
I mean, it's too many points, man. One of the toughest places to play in the Big 12 is Manhattan, Kansas. I like what Kleiman's doing. I locked him up last week against TCU. They covered for me. It's just too many points. 24? Are you kidding me? I mean, I think this line should be more at 17 or something like that. Give me the Wildcats of Kansas State to get this done with 24 points.
Wow, another dog that I agree with you on. How's that defense been playing for Kansas State?
They're good, man.
Pretty good, and they're pretty good stopping passing attack. Look, this is where I say I still don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I think they do enough to win this game. 24 points is disrespectful.
Easily the hardest and the loudest stadium that they're going to be playing in. They haven't had a true road game really. UCLA doesn't really count. That's like, I mean, what? I think more Oklahoma fans showed up than UCLA fans. So I'm going to say the Wildcats are the play here, man. This place is going to be live.
Yeah, I'm going to go KSU catching the big number. I mean, a similar game you can look at is the Kansas game, but I think Kansas State is a lot better than Kansas. They beat Kansas 45-20, so they did cover 24 points there. But I think this spot's going to be a little bit tougher for them late in the year, and they could be looking ahead possibly to Iowa State.
Kansas isn't necessarily a tough place to come in to win to.
Yeah,
Kansas State is.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like it's a similar scenario, but I think Kansas State's a little bit tougher. So I'll take Kansas State catching 24. Another Twitter question at Jamie Hov. He wants to know about the Tennessee-South Carolina game in Knoxville, Tennessee. 1:00 kick. Gamecocks -4, -185 on the money line. Volunteers +155 going the other way. Colby, what are you doing?
Look, man, the Vols have kind of found a little bit of stuff there. 2 weeks ago, I took them as my dog, hit as my dog when they beat Mississippi State. I like the Vols to get this done with 4 points. Give me that. If South Carolina wins, it'll be by a field goal.
Yeah, South Carolina, a bit of a stretch. They didn't show up against Florida. Florida's still not a good team,
and getting it done somehow.
But we knew that could have been a letdown spot for South Carolina after that big win. Now they're taking to the road. Tennessee. My problem with Tennessee is I just don't know what to believe. So what did I do? As a hashtag market mover, I went over and looked at the market. And I see why are all these people betting money on South Carolina right now in this spot? To me, this screams is just a trap. Give me Tennessee plus the points. I don't know if South Carolina has done enough to get this type of respect. So I'll take the dog here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of crazy. I like fading South Carolina here. I like fading South Carolina, especially when they're a road favorite that the public's all over. I mean, Tennessee, obviously a disappointing season, but I think they can make this at least a competitive game. So yeah, give me the Vols +4. Closing things out strong with our gals. The Aztecs head into Las Vegas. 7:30 kick to square off against UNLV. UNLV 13-point home dog, +400 on the money line, -550 for the Aztecs. Colby, what are you doing?
Look, I blame. This has been the most challenging year for me since I've been a part of the network and the show.
Wow, this is emotional.
And I'm just coming clean. You know what it is since I've been here, San Diego State's always treated us kind in college basketball and college football.
It's true.
And like an idiot, the past couple of weeks I've been going away.
And
our gals are making me pay for it, and they gave me bad juju. So I'm back on the gals.
Ooh.
Give me the gals to come into Vegas. All right, they're not going to party too much. Rocky Long knows this team's special. They're in first place in the West. They got a chance to do something special this year. Give me the Aztecs in good old Vegas, -13.
Here's my concern. I think Rocky Long himself is a man who enjoys Las Vegas. I don't know if he's going to be setting the best example. Of course, I'm laying the points with our gals. This UNLV team is it maybe not full blown trash?
They only have one win against the FBS, and that was at Vanderbilt, the big SEC.
I was gonna say that was, which was a bit of a shocking win. When did that happen? When did that take place?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. Maybe they're still riding high on that. UNLV is are those like 3 Tupperware dishes you got in the back of your refrigerator where it's maybe within a 2 week range. It's questionable, maybe good, maybe not. You haven't thrown it out yet, and you pop it open that day, and it turns out it's rotten shit. Fade UNLV, take our gals. San Diego State is the pick.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing good riding the gals all season. I know Colby was he was down there for a while, but I never lost faith in our Aztecs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're actually decent as like big road chalk. So yeah, give me the Aztecs laying 13. I don't think you can make this big enough. All right, guys. Closing it down strong. Time for the lock, dog, and tease, courtesy of mybookie.ag. Promo code SGP. Colby, you want to kick things off here?
Surely. All right, my lock. I am going to ride with. Let's go with a little bit of LSU -10.5 against Auburn. Feel great about this. I don't think Auburn can throw the ball to keep them in the game scoring with this offense. My dog. Look, my first thought was I was like, I'm going to give you Tennessee, but no, 155 is not a good. I want to give my clients real money. So I'm going to say take the Kentucky Wildcats plus 295 at home against the Missouri Tigers. MITs. Let's bring, what are we doing here? Let's bring East Carolina up to 8. Let's bring.
Very smart of you.
No, I'm just laughing at the guy at the other end of the sports book when he sees someone teasing East Carolina. What the hell's going on over here?
You son of a. You son of a. I'm going. Let's bring. What am I doing here? Let's bring Kentucky down to. No. Let's not do that. Let's bring LSU down to 4.5. And let's bring. Let's bring A&M down to 4.5, and I'm good.
Okay, and a bonus lock, Colby.
Bonus lock. I'm going with the Arkansas State Red Wolves.
Oh no!
Look,
what division is that?
They're in the Sun Belt.
Can we get a ruling on this?
They're in the beautiful Sun Belt. Texas State is coming into Jonesboro, Arkansas. And look, I know Texas State. They got some quarterback questions. I don't know if Gresh Jensen's going to play, but Texas State's not very good. And Arkansas State actually was in the game last week against Louisiana Lafayette, had their chances to win. They're a better team than their record indicates. Give me Arkansas State minus the 11 against Texas State.
Yeah, just for some housekeeping, because Sean clearly not taking. Oh, there we go. Man, you know what it is? The internet must be slow here on the west side, or maybe time is just moving very, very slow right
just
now.
Wait till you get to that drum circle.
Ryan, the boa constrictor Ryan has around his neck has been choking him out, and there's no blood in his head anymore. I'm taking care of the sheet, Ryan. Give us your lock, dog, and tease.
Oh man, I really, you know what? I just feel so bad. My instincts tell me to lock up Michigan here. I feel like they're on the path, but my first choice was just going to be LSU. I'm not overthinking this. Give me LSU. They're gonna roll this out. I think Auburn is fraudulent. The win against Florida, a little fraudulent.
No, Auburn lost to Florida.
Sorry, the loss at Florida showed that they're fraudulent.
They can't throw the ball. Yeah.
And I really like this LSU team to continue to roll until that Alabama game. So let's copy the database. We're together. We're one this week, bro.
There we go.
We're getting this done. For my dog, give me Michigan State. I think this is a very losable spot for Sean's Penn State Nittany Lions. So give me the plus 190 with Michigan State. And for my tees, UNLV is really horrible. So give me San Diego State minus a touchdown. I also like East Carolina plus the points here.
Oh, there we go.
We discussed what was going to be going on out there on whatever body of water is near East Carolina. I think Charlie Strong is going to be just 3 knuckles deep. And for my last leg of my tees, let's just double dip. Actually, you know what? Give me Ohio State minus 8.5. I want a piece of that game because teaser alert. Check Twitter at Gambling Podcast, but I will be on Ohio State this week as well. For my bonus pick, I'm going to go to the ACC. I know a little bit about this conference and what I saw Duke team get their shit pushed in, and I saw a North Carolina team have to play 6 overtimes. Now they play each other. Duke is not there. There is no way in this ether that Mac Brown is smarter than David Cutcliffe. Give me the
Blue Devils, right?
Give me the Duke Blue Devils plus 4.
Nice.
Dookie plus 4. All right, I'll close things out for Kramer. For me, for my lock, give me Ohio State minus 14.5. Don't think about this one too much. Just roll with it. For my dog, give me the Vols at home against the.
Going with Alan Cooley's boys, huh?
Ooh, yeah, shout out to Alan Cooley. It's a Volunteers weekend, so give me Tennessee plus 155. For my tees, let's see. We'll take Kentucky up to 16.5. What else do I really like? LSU down to 4.5, and SDSU down to 7 as well. For my bonus lock, let's see. I will go with Houston at home, catching 14.5 Thursday night. Always like a home dog in prime time. I think they're squaring off against SMU. This should be a game. Give me Houston and the big number.
Holgerson, I hope you guys caught that clip. I got to put that on if you follow the Sports Gambling Podcast Instagram, I'll load it up there. Holgerson coaching his son. Loved it. They struggled to get past UConn, and there's a point where you can see him saying, "I can't fucking coach this team."
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, make sure you toss that up over at. I listen. I think on a short week after they were embarrassed like that, I think he's gonna have their attention. Quick turnaround, big number. These Houston kids don't want to get murdered. So yeah, give me Houston plus 14.5.
And didn't make the bonus pick, but I would just alert people to the Friday night game. I think we may have a live dog going off as a 2-touchdown underdog in Colorado.
The Buffs.
Well, anytime you got Mr. Helton coaching your team, you have an opportunity to lose. So I'm just going to alert the clients. I will absolutely post something to Twitter if I end up playing that.
All right. Follow Kramer on Twitter at KramerCentric. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Follow us at Gambling Podcast. Check out Colby at the Colby D. Make sure you subscribe to The College Experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Again, if you're in the Philadelphia area, make sure you check me out in Phoenixville, PA, Friday night. Doors open at 8 o'clock. $10 tickets at the door. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I am Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
How about them Hokies?
Kramer. Let it ride.